Hi, Warriors. A bit of a calm market across the board, FX, risk, metals bouncing around. How's everyone doing today? How are you, Ingmar? Steve? Blake? How are you, Saloom? He's got his all his emojis there. Hi, Ryan, K-Man, AJ, Linda. How are you, Hugo, James? How you, Bran? Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Brother Ryan. Cheers, Ryan.
Morning, mate.
See, how are you, mate? See how I've moved to the UK. Anyway, does this 1650 level appeal to you for doing anything here in Euro?
Nope. Well, it's becoming a bit of a pivot point, isn't it? We were talking
Yeah,
about this on the flow show. We've got a couple of euro pairs, this and euro sterling, that look a bit glued up at the moment. This 1650, 60 uh, becoming a bit of a
yeah,
magnet level if you zoom out a bit on that chart.
yeah. I
Um,
see it all the way back here.
yeah, and it goes further as well. We just move away, come back, move away, come back. For me, that's a sign that the market's pretty balanced at the moment, especially over what's going on in Europe. ECB
What?
on hold. They're all happy with inflation. Economy's still not doing all that, but they're not looking at any more cuts or anything. And yeah, we're just glued around that level. And euro sterling, same.
Okay.
We're in a very tight range ahead of the budget, and I think the option markets has got that one wrapped up tightly as well.
Yeah, I mean this so far just looks like consolidation after this move. I mean
Yeah,
cable actually looks a little better than Euro. Aussie kind of has a little bit of a heartbeat of its own. I know you like. Do you still like Canada? And that was just a little shakeout to get people out before the next wave up.
yeah, it's climbed back nicely, back above that 40, 20, 30 area,
Mm.
which was the level in the fib previously. So it's keeping things going. Yeah, whether it can get back up to those highs, I don't know, but it certainly remains constructive and looking pretty bullish. And yeah, but your Aussie dollar, second time it hit the 64.40 level and bounced, which was my big level on the way up several months ago. And, we've had two looks there now. I think the third one will be in a bit of, could be a bit of trouble.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving averages right here
Yeah.
at this 440, and
And the
it's
fib as
yes,
well, I think.
yeah, yeah,
38.2, yeah.
yeah, 404, yeah. So I mean that was a target I talked about from here, 64 first. I think eventually 62, but that's what I'll tell you what I'm looking to do, and it's something that has to develop. So I looked at a few of the crosses. I looked at the guppy. Um, you know, it has a much better formation. It pulled back right to where it had to. Then you look at Euro Yen, looks very similar, maybe a little stronger structure. But then you look at Aussie Yen and what it did. It took out the whole political yen gap thing. And this, I think, happened mainly during risk off. So
Yeah.
this is a risk off proxy for me, and I'm waiting for 61.8 to 78.6 to get on it because I have a big target down here. For if this pattern completes, I could see it at 82, which means we're going to have a pretty good market correction, right,
Yeah.
Saloom?
I,
You
I
know,
think I think you've got to. I think if you're getting those levels, then something may have changed. If you're getting up to your what fibs did you have? You had
the
your
fibs.
yeah,
Well, 61.8 is 99.15. That's 120 from here.
yeah. I think if you're breaking the 50. then potentially we're challenging that trend that we've seen off the highs.
Right,
But
right. All
we
right.
can't get through your 98.50 around your 50 fib at the moment. So that may be your signal for a short, because we're keeping this lower highs and lower lows going.
Yeah, you might be right. Maybe it is today.
Yeah,
I just
you
kind of,
can always
I'm
split
just
it.
looking, I'm just looking for maybe I get an ABC
Yeah,
before that happens, and it's all because I think risk is going to try those highs at 720. So
yeah.
I'm thinking there's a little bit more risk on left.
You can
I'd
always
like
split
to.
a trade.
What's that?
Put a little. You can always split your trade up, put a little bit on at your levels in case it doesn't get where you want it to go, and then you've got a bit on the table.
Yeah, it's a good idea. See, even I am open to, mentoring. That's something I would tell someone to do. So, you know what, everyone? Do what I say, not what I do. All right, that's a lesson Ryan just made public.
I usually charge
Anyway,
for
yeah,
that.
I know, I know. I used to pay for it. So anyway, if I said to you, Ryan, what has the most attention, your attention right now going into this week, what would it be?
Oh, what has the most attention? There's
The
a couple
most
of things.
attention. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's data. We get some UK data, big UK data this week, CPI and retail sales, and then on Friday we get that US CPI data, which I think is going to be pretty important. So yeah, three bits of data this week
Okay.
that I'm going to be keeping an eye on for the dollar and the pound.
Did anything happen with I mean, look at this in natural gas. I'm not in it anymore, but look at this gap. What's the news? Just
Uh,
could it be because the peace deal's unraveling? I don't think that's it.
no, they're still pushing to get away from Russian supplies of energy of all sorts.
So
I
this
don't
is
know
be
if
like
there's
the market saying Europe's going to buy U.S. natural gas instead of Russian.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's anything particular behind that spike up.
That's a huge move. I mean,
Yeah.
290, it's 8% overnight. Okay, well anyway, I'm not there, so just found it to be the most unusual move on the board today. So why don't I move to K for the metals?
Morning, morning, Dan. Morning, everybody. And yes, the Europe wants to move away from from Russian oil and gas for 2027 or so. So I guess that's your spike in gas prices there.
Yeah, that was it in the news. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's huge.
news. They want to move away now. Whether they are going to move away is the next question, right?
Yeah, it's had much more impact on natural gas than WTI or
Yeah, yeah.
Brent. So, uh, what do you do with metals now?
Right now I'm not doing too much, but I've been looking at the corrections that we had, and they all stopped before danger levels. So yeah, there was that one, yeah. But then on silver, there's some big stuff going on around and just below 50 as well on the real long term. So
Yeah, because
um,
this is the breakout from the triple top, right?
yeah, as well. So both silver and gold have had their Friday, and now we are starting with a picture which looks still more supportive for both. I'm not sure how it's going to go on with that Ukraine-Russia thing and Trump getting involved again, telling Zelensky that he should accept some of the Russian demands. Uh, Europe is pulling the other way around, the other way, and we don't know how it's going to work between China and the US. And as I said last week as well, the I think we are going into, especially the end of the month, is going to be extremely important, I think. And until we get, because we get a potential meeting between another meeting between Putin and Trump, and then in the meantime, Zelensky is trying to arrange stuff as well. Then we get that APEC meeting, sorry, where Trump should meet Xi, but we still haven't got a confirmation from the Chinese that they effectively will. And so it's going to be so, and that makes me think that before the end of the month, we may continue this yo-yo in the metals, and but not break down or not reverse yet. That'll be either in November we are going to see a temporary bigger setback if we get positive news, or if not, then they are going to both put in their next leg higher, I think. So we may be now in like 10 days of up and down and in the middle. That's what I think on the metals at least.
Okay. I wish I would have recorded that. That would have qualified for CNBC analysis. The last part.
Um,
Yeah. Well, what do you think of gold? Well, it's going to
no,
bounce around and
I
it
don't,
could go
well,
up.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but I mean, if I would have been on CNBC the last day of last year or the first day of this year, I would have been rich already because I would have been hired by one of the biggest banks or asset managers out there because I said gold would be the trade of 2025.
Yeah. Would you take that job?
If they give me a couple of million to sit there and make one call per year, yeah, I would take it straight
Yes,
away,
there's a lot of jobs like that.
straight away.
Uh, so anyway, so we're going to just bounce around till the end of the month, and you don't think this was damaging in silver, that where the
No,
bias could be? You don't think so?
no,
Okay, and,
because we don't know the finality of what Trump. Well, he said that the tariffs on China wouldn't last indefinitely, and that's where the whole thing started to roll over from. And then we had a bit of stress on the KRE and on the banks, and that's when the equity markets came down and then bounced severely back up. And no, it's just
don't you
I
think
think it's
there's
just a timing move.
any message in the gold silver ratio?
No,
Okay, so
it's just a question of
did
speed.
did you think this was a message in the gold silver ratio?
Yes.
But rally wouldn't be.
No, well, I mean, you're talking about what is it like 4 5% or so, and but we came down 25%, and I
No,
would view it as
no, I'm
a
talking about a 50% correction here. Could get
um,
up there.
oh yeah, I mean it can do that because of the speed. Have you seen only on Friday we did a 8% move on silver? I mean,
Yeah,
but the thing is, I don't think those kind of moves are completely done unless we get the news, whatever, that India's silver bugs stop buying.
yeah.
They are running out of silver over there in India. So I mean, we can't call this all these moves over. So, but I think it's going to be volatile. But
Yeah.
I'm not seeing this kind of a bouncing gold silver ratio as a message. It has all to do with like demand and supply, and I don't think it's a trend. It's a change in trend in markets, if you see what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. And
All
I think,
right.
but we may get some clearer answers to all of that come the end of the month or just after.
Okay. I'm getting a message from it, but
Okay.
maybe I'm hallucinating.
No, no,
Let's see.
it's not because I don't get a message. You may
Uh,
get the message
a message
that there
in
is.
a
Yeah,
bottle.
in a
Uh,
golden bottle.
all right. So, anyone want to talk about S&Ps going into the end of the month that they may? What do you think? We'll bounce around, Ryan?
Yeah, we're looking tough up there. I managed to make a
What do
right
you
lick of
think?
that big
New
that big.
highs?
Uh, I'm not going to rule them out. But you remember last week, was it Tuesday? We were talking about that. You were going to short up there. And I said, 67, 67.20. If we get up
Yeah,
there and hold,
that was
we should see
perfect.
some downside. I actually jumped on a short and then scared myself out of it in that little that little
Yeah,
spike above 20, and
yeah.
then it fell out of bed.
It's funny. I took that one too. I thought I was a genius taking 40, and it was actually close to 100 handles
Yeah, I
for a
lost
day trade.
I lost
Yeah.
20. What did I lose? 26 ticks on that because I got scared when it moved above
All
20.
all right. We're all veterans. So, this has been the character of the market mainly since the April low. Okay. I mean, I guess I could go back. But this whole rally has been, with the exception of some bigger ranges, especially look at these ranges and then look at these ranges before. So now you
Yeah.
look at the kind of candles we're getting now, which dwarf everything that happened before it. Is there any kind of message in
Yes.
um, my number one
Yeah.
student, Blake Morrow, knows the answer.
No, one of the things I think people forget is when you're near a high or a low in the market for that matter, when you see extreme volatility, extreme daily volatility like we're seeing, that usually marks a turning point. And that's an old school lesson that I
Yeah.
learned years and years ago. So this expanded volatility that we're seeing, it may not be a blow off top. That's the what everybody's always looking for. I'm looking for a blow off top or a
Yeah.
capitulation low. But no, when you've had an extended run and you see this massive volatility, it's a lot of times it's a distribution turning point. And so that's why I think this massive volatility that we're seeing, and by the way, that's a triangle. And I did get short overnight. I got limited into a short about 12 points ago in the S&P. I think that this is a turning point. Which is going to be really interesting, Dale. The only thing that I'm worried about is quote unquote mutual fund Monday. So
Yeah.
soon as equities open and the bell rings, you get a nice little 40,
Yeah.
50 point push higher in the S&P before everything fades, and
I'd
that's
I'd
entirely
I'd
possible.
like to see it take out this high first. And then it would really kind of look like an ABC without taking out this high. So
But right
that's
now, it's
kind
a symmetrical triangle if it holds.
oh yeah, okay. So you mean
Did
off
you just
these,
burp on us?
excuse me. You know,
Did
I,
you? Blah.
digestion is also something that ends up not being
Excuse you,
great.
Dale.
Anyway, I haven't even eaten anything, so I'm burping coffee, Blake.
Oh man.
Well, all right. Anyway,
Here, I'll show
so
I'll show you what I'm talking about.
all right,
This
and
is I think this is a symmetrical triangle that's
all
developing, but
right.
it's not just in the S&P. Like if you go to our S&P room, I posted all the charts here. Here's the Dow.
Sorry, man.
Here's the Nasdaq 100.
Oh yeah.
And here's the S&P, right?
Do
So
you,
you got all these symmetrical triangles that are trying to develop this morning. Let's see if they can hold.
all right, good eye. And what you were talking about, there's an old expression that markets top with violence and bottom in silence.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good
So,
one. That's a good
so
one.
what's
I like it.
Greg is saying? One more high? Oh, that's a euro.
As far as the
That's a
S&P goes,
euro.
he just popped in the chat room. Let's go over to the general chat room. He was commenting on my euro because I was looking at the euro saying, "Hey, I think a lot of people are probably seeing this head and shoulder pattern. I'm not playing it as such."
Yeah.
And he's going to jump in the face show tomorrow, but he mentioned intraday he's looking for euro to maybe make a quick dip and then a bounce. So but he didn't mention anything about the S&P, but we can go. The nice thing is
Yeah.
with Grego, we can just go here and go to the
He
S&P.
doesn't even have to be here.
He doesn't. So he looks at this, I guess it's
Oh,
a
okay.
symmetrical
He
triangle
sees the
too.
same thing you're looking at.
Yeah, he's looking for a turn lower from here, probably to some this low. I'm gonna just recreate what he's drawing here. So he's looking
63
at,
something.
yeah, he's looking at this. Let's see. Uh,
No,
aha.
oh
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. One more rally
so
after this pull here.
this and then rally. So that's
Okay.
what Greg is looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So again, you can just go right to Forex Analytics, pull up S&P, Elliott Wave, and then get that chart. Obviously, then or you can get the charts that we're posting here too on basic technical analysis and everything else.
And semis are making new highs without Nvidia for I don't know the second or third time. Take a look at Nvidia and the SOX or SMH, and Nvidia's the weak sister
You're
in
fading
the
a little bit,
sector.
Dale. Yeah.
They're the weak sister in the sector.
Yeah.
Nvidia.
And so there was this article out overnight in Yahoo Finance, which I thought was really interesting, right here about China's Alibaba cloud. They think they can cut Nvidia's usage by 82% with this new system that they're using. I found that kind of interesting too. I mean,
Yeah.
what if, and I'm just throwing this out there, and this is obviously regarding China and Alibaba and Nvidia, and just how about if Nvidia becomes, I don't want to say replaced, but there's more competition in the
Yeah.
market,
They
and
don't have a monopoly anymore.
right, exactly. And you start to see Nvidia really, get surpassed by other companies from a technology standpoint. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen,
Hmm.
but if that is the case, or if which is typical with everything. I mean, you have the Apple iPhone, right? And Apple
Yeah.
was so dominant in the markets for so many years, and then now you've got, you know, so many different smartphone makers that are making comparable, if not superior, products to Apple. And you've seen Apple fade a little bit. Now Apple's got a great ecosystem, and Nvidia is trying to create that for themselves with a lot of their supply chains and whatnot. But what happens then, and especially with Nvidia, is such a big part of the S&P. This is why I think that I think U.S. markets will, at some point here, whether it's the end of this year or the beginning of next year, really going to start to underperform some other markets, in my opinion, and that's going to have a lot to do with Nvidia and Nvidia's waning of dominance in the sector. But you're right,
I'm
Dale. It
looking
is
for
underperforming a little bit here.
140 is the target I have for it.
140.
Yeah,
Well, after hitting the
145.
161% extension, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd like to see it, break some lows and start creating lower lows versus higher highs
Yeah,
and higher lows, which it's constantly doing. But
yeah,
yeah, we start showing some reversal here, and that's not going to be a good sign.
yeah.
Um, we have a lot of inflation data coming out this week. Ryan, what are the big countries that are putting out inflation? We've got the UK where you guys are at.
Yeah, the UK inflation's coming out, and then obviously US CPI on Friday, the one they've got to get
Yeah,
out for their social security business.
yeah, it's that's kind of a big deal because we're not, typically, because we're in a government shutdown still. We shouldn't be getting this data, but they need it for certain calculations of payments. So we will be getting some inflation data there. We're also getting inflation from Canada. We're getting inflation we just got some from New Zealand overnight. And I believe at the end of the week,
Japan as well.
from where?
Japan.
Japan. Okay, so a lot of countries are going to be reporting earnings. What's on your radar going into this week? What are you looking to trade, Ryan?
Um, I don't know at the moment. It's all a little bit up in the air. We got like we were speaking with Dale. I've got a few pairs that are a little bit stuck at the moment. Euro sterling's definitely stuck between that sort of 86, 60, 70s. and that 87.20 level. So this data might be something that breaks us out of that malaise, but you have to take any data moves with a little bit of pinch of salt and make sure if you're going with them that they last and it's not just a little extension spike. But I think that US CPI data is going to be interesting because it's going to show, or it's expected to show, inflation rising. It could show it rising more than expected, which is going to put a bit of pressure on the Fed because they've pretty much told us that it's all about jobs and inflation's not a problem at the moment, but then jobs wasn't a problem 3 months ago until it was. So
right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and until inflation is sticky, and we realize that it's still very unclear. Actually, Lagarde was out she was speaking over the weekend, talking about how the world hasn't felt the impact of the Trump tariffs yet, and that's still those price pressures are still to come. And I'm sure she was talking about not just the Eurozone either. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to get that CPI data this Friday, and everybody's going to be trading it. Obviously, as American-based traders or as traders globally, we're all looking for things to queue off of, and we haven't had the U.S. data around, so this is going to be a big event. K-Man, what are you thinking this week? What are you looking at?
Well, obviously the same things, but I'd say watch risk because we may get confirmation or denial from the Chinese side, then mainly on a real meeting between Trump and Xi. This should be decided this week, I guess. So yeah, I'd say watch risk a bit. Been talking about those swings in the metals. They're on it again. I mean, gold is nearly back at 4,300. Those things are going to be interesting, continue to be interesting as well. Yeah, that's the thing. But as I said, I mean, I'm rather looking at stuff putting in more yo-yos than taking a direction. But obviously, if we see another violent swing in those metals, it's going to drag the rest around. And then I'm thinking about commodities, etc. So maybe stuff like Aussie could be more sensitive to risk off than looking at the positive side of things. So
It's
it's not
really
that I've
struggled, hasn't it?
given up on the Aussie at all, but it may just be a bit more sensitive to risk right now, especially risk negative.
If you guys saw the week ahead video, I put in this is a Gartley pattern, and it's perfect, by the way. That means that if you're buying below 64.50, that was the right decision from a harmonic point of view. But you guys know that Gartley patterns, especially if they can't get a sizable bounce here, what it ends up being is a butterfly pattern, and a butterfly pattern would look something more like this, which you could talk the 127% extension, or more than likely the 161% extension. So if we break these lows on the week, that means we break through 64. Let's just call it 64.40. You're looking at a move down to 62.30. Talking about what K-Man's suggesting here, but that would mean that we'd have to see some dollar strength coming through the market, and I'm not sure if I'm there yet.
Well, I mean, it all depends which which side of risk is getting hit, whether it's the US side of risk, and then I'm thinking about China goes, nah, maybe there won't be a meeting. It's still going to affect risk, right? And yeah, we've seen these kind of moves where the Aussie lost quite a bit, and actually no later than, when was it? Thursday. Aussie was
Yeah.
offered, and euro was beat like hell, and that was yeah. Then you get like moves like that in the euro Aussie. So
Mhm.
that's what I mean, to look for those kind of moves. Euro is stuck again, right? That 116.50 60 is magnetic so much. I'm not in a hurry to take any positions on the euro dollar, but the euro crosses could be interesting. And then you look at the other side of the spectrum. If risk on would be a theme, then I think stuff like yen could weaken again, because now we have this coalition between LDP and Ishin, which should be confirmed tomorrow in Japan. And there, if risk is not affected too much elsewhere, we may see gradual weight coming back on around the yen, and maybe yen crosses starting to push up again.
You know, that was kind of surprising. I'm glad you brought this up, Dale. And I know we're waiting on Katie to get here. I don't think she's here just yet, Dale. I don't know if you're looking around. I'm
Yeah,
sure you
she
don't.
isn't. Yeah, I sent
Okay,
her a message.
got it. What I think was really interesting is that when risk got hit, back here on the,
Yeah,
9th of October, and we saw this big sell-off. We saw the yen reciprocate, which
yeah.
we haven't seen that in quite some time. We haven't
Safe
seen it.
haven buying. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know if that's something that we do have to pay attention to. What do you think, Kay? I mean,
Yeah, but
the
no,
dollar yen is obviously.
that first move there was when the opposition was trying to get rid of the Takaichi. Where we had the real move on the risk was last Thursday, and Thursday the yen all of a sudden started to pay attention to risk again. So yeah, this is something that we should indeed pay attention to. If the yen comes back on the risk bus, it may yeah, then it may be that even if we get that coalition between LDP and Ishin, if we get a risk-off event, that the yen crosses could trade a bit lower indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would be that would be something that, I mean, I've explained this a lot, on in recent weeks. For me, I have not had a good feeling with yen. It's like it feels like it's being pulled in so many different directions right now, whether you're talking about Japanese politics or risk or yields. It's really been a tougher, dynamic for me to trade. And when I don't feel comfortable, I just don't trade it. And I haven't traded it very, very often actually in recent weeks. But I'd love to have some direction, because obviously when these yen pairs move, they move pretty dramatically. Yeah. So anyway, interesting stuff. All right. Well, thanks guys for your feedback here, Dale. I'm not sure if Katie's gonna make it today. I saw her actually on CNBC a couple of days ago, so I know she's back from Dubai. Matter of fact, Katie and I were texting because her son goes to ASU. Um, and at Arizona State, just down the street. So her and her husband were in town. I was gonna meet up with them, but it was like raining cats and dogs, and she was only here for like a day, and I couldn't make it to the game, and so we couldn't meet up for coffee, and it's a shame. But I know I'll see her over the next 3 years, as her and her husband will be out here in my neck of the woods visiting her son. But then she was heading to Dubai right after that. So I know she's back. So hopefully she makes it here to the show today. So,
Well, we'll give
but
it about 5 more minutes. How
sounds
about
good.
that?
Sounds good. All right. Well, looks like, matter of fact, the gold market just hit the 618 retracement. You can see it right here, from yesterday's or Friday's move. We completed a double top, and look at this, Dale, this throw over. I mean, we're literally right on. We pivoted off of the channel resistance.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking here?
Silver's the preferred short. Don't
Yeah.
even, you want to short anything? I do believe in the gold silver ratio. It gave the message again Friday. I mean, silver was down, what, 3, 4% compared to gold down 2. So you have to, your preferred short silver, put silver up, and you'll see this bounce looks weaker than it does in gold.
Yeah, it
See that?
definitely is
All
weaker.
right. I mean, look at the character of the bounces. So there's a market tell in there Want to be short anything, short what they're talking about on television all over the place. The CNN had a special that Dorothy's slippers were ruby, but they should have been silver because that's the way it was originally written. Everyone's talking about silver making new historic highs. It's silver for the trade on the short side, not gold. I mean, gold will go down, but this will be more forgiving if you're early.
Yeah,
And look at silver never confirmed its high with the RSI in this TF. Now go to gold.
I'm going to gold right now.
So which has a stronger structure and which
Well,
has a
gold does.
weaker structure?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you short? The weak sister.
You could do that, definitely. If you
Yeah.
want to be on the short side.
Yeah, if you want, if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to
Yeah.
be on
So
the long side, gold's your long, not silver.
as long as we hold above this 618, or excuse me, this
Yeah.
38% retracement, and the throw over, if you will.
Yeah, the up or down either way, gold will hold up better on breaks and outperform on rallies, and the opposite in silver.
Gotcha. All right.
Capiche?
So what's that?
Capiche, man.
Capiche. Capiche. And look at this, and just again, the euro's heading back down towards pretty critical support here.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. And the markets, I think, are patiently just waiting the open today. We have a lot.
Katie, where are you? Everyone say it with me. Katie, where are you? All right, she's
Yeah,
probably busy.
doesn't look like she's here. She's here. Well, Dale, I think what I'll do is I'll pass it over to you, and you can probably wrap it from here. Unless
Okay.
you want to wait a couple more minutes.
Let's see if I got an answer
All right.
on.
Thanks everybody for being patient right now. We
No,
appreciate it.
she didn't notice the message either, so we could wrap it, Blake. And I want to thank the team and came in. Thank you, Ryan. Thank
Thank you,
you,
my friend.
and Blake. Thank you. We're getting our sea
Well,
legs ready for this week. Okay, it's going to be a good one. It doesn't all have to happen today, right? Sometimes you have to wait for your setups. Great surfers don't try and catch every wave. They too wait for setups. Not that I was ever a great surfer. Just I trade the market like surfers would. You don't have to trade every wave. You don't know what to do today. I didn't hear a lot of conviction in the room for what was happening right now, but I did hear some ideas about what to do should markets unfold in that manner. And that's why you have to be in the chat room because when they do, they're not going to be talking about it. They're going to be executing. And with that being said, everyone, don't just count your pips, even if you don't make any today. Count your blessings because you have many of them, and a lot of them you take for granted. Adios.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Dale.
team.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach.
team. See you guys. You're welcome, guys. Bye, Jazier. What do you mean, Scott? LOL, no? All right. I'll reschedule, Katie.